Hello, everyone. It's Linda Ockwell-Jenner here with another Linda's Conversations video series. I've got a delightful guest today whom I met at a wonderful, wonderful event when she was part of the opening of her wonderful bank. And her name is Rebecca Schoenhardt, who is the AVP and Market Lead for Waterloo Region with the Canadian Western Bank. And the one thing I noticed about this wonderful young lady and the bank, very friendly, wonderful brand. And I thought to myself, I just have to chat to her and find out more about Rebecca and the bank. Hi, it's lovely to see you.
Hi, Linda. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's a real treat.
Thank you. So we met at the opening of the Canadian Western Bank, Sportsworld Crossing, and it was the most welcome, friendly, wonderful, wonderful experience I've ever had because banks can be a bit stuffy.
Yeah, I suppose. Yes, yes.
And I'd like to know how you got involved in them and what you actually, what your role entails.
hmm So the Canadian Western Bank here in Kitchener for Waterloo Region is brand new, but the bank itself is not. This is a 40-year-old institution headquartered in Edmonton. It's a Schedule One bank for all those bank junkies out there. And depending on how you look at it, either the eighth or ninth largest bank in Canada. So new and small in Kitchener still, but has some glorious roots. And part of those roots, Linda, I think, and what attracted me to leave my previous employer and join CWB is this beautiful sense of like Western gentility, like that Western hospitality. It's no less ambitious, no less entrepreneurial, if anything, more so. But there's this real power in not being headquartered on Bay Street. And it provides a different worldview that I think permeates through our culture and the way that we want to engage with our communities, our clients, and our team members. And I'm glad you picked up on that at our grand opening celebration in September.
It's very hard not to because I'm going to be very, very honest. We've got a lot of banks scattered across Canada and in England, where I'm from originally. But I immediately felt a sense of warmth and I felt the community part. You talk very much about community and I'm very much into community building and stuff like that. And also some banks, as I say, can just get straight to the point and want to get on with the business. So that's why you got involved with the bank. But I mean, why is CWB different to other financial, institutions?
Well, talk is cheap. And a lot of FIs, so we say in the biz, FIs, financial institutions, a lot of banks will say, oh, no, it's about relationship. But that relationship sort of begins and ends when you walk in and leave the premises. CWB, because it aspires to be the best bank of choice for business owners in Canada, and it's much more about creating and maintaining long-term relationships. Commercial clients or operating businesses, it's not a transaction. This is moving money and storing money is the circulation system of any enterprise. And you need to have a strong and ongoing partnership, a real relationship to make that happen. And so I think that's part of our ethos and culture of how we want to show up. So when I was wooed to CWB, part of what that charm campaign was of really getting to meet some people here and seeing how they walk the talk in terms of culture. And that really inspired me with this idea of I wanted CWB here in Kitchener. We wanted to be an extroverted bank. And to me, the success of a financial partner is the success of the community, is the success of our entrepreneurial clients, the people that they're employing, and the not-for-profits that they're supporting. And I've said it even in the reverse order, it's vice versa. Their success is ours is theirs. And so it was really important to me that we engage right from the beginning as that extroverted partner in the community. And so we've dove right in with the Cambridge Chamber, Greater KW Chamber, KW Oktoberfest. I'm actually out of the office all day on Monday because I'm presenting to a local grade 8 class as part of the Junior Achievement Program. So the entire team has volunteered to help present entrepreneurial and economic training for teens and tweens. We've been volunteering at the food bank. We're raising money for Kids Ability and their plasma car races. And I took a pie in the face for the United Way recently. It was on Instagram, for God's sake. So it's really important to me that, and to my team, that we are part of this community and understand what's important to the people around us.
Well, I have to say, you're very well known now, your team, the bank, everything, because of these friendly, these wonderful, wonderful. It's a feeling. It's more of a feeling, I think. When I walked in and I saw the brand, and the brand to me in this case was the decor, it was the feeling, it was the ambience. And then when I met a few of you guys, I thought, wow, I'd like to live here. Can I ask you about leading with care? I think that is a really, really lovely way to go. What does it really mean, though?
Well, I think about the care we want to extend to our clients and our community. And that care starts at home, so to speak. And it's how do you lead with authenticity, putting your people first and supporting your team members. And in fact, right beside me in this office is a canvas of CWB's values. And the very first value is people first. And then it's relationships get results, embrace the new, the how matters, and inclusion has power. And even when I say those things, it's so corny, but I get a little bit of goosebumps because I know what this means in our day-to-day here. And so we try very hard to make this a place of personal growth and learning, and that mistakes happen, but let's learn from them. Let's help each other succeed. And so I'll jump around, but you see it, even the team has grabbed this and run with it, Linda. So, we hop in the car after having called on a prospect, and one of the members of my team will immediately say, so what could I have done better? What do you think? What do you think I did well? What do you think I could do better? And this sense of helping each other to level up permeates in this place. And it does make for a different feeling. And so I'm trying to talk about it, but it is leading with care. And there's a bunch of components about that, like that learning component, the embracing of inclusion, whether it be gender or cultural divides or language differences, or even the idea of we can't all be introverts or extroverts. There's room for all sorts of personalities on this glorious teal-colored bus, So we try really hard to welcoming space.
You do explain it well, and you use the word diversity, and that's very important. And I honestly believe that if you didn't mean what you said and actually act upon what you guys are saying, when we walk into the bank, we would know this, because happy employees mean happy customers, clients. So some people say, imagine you're a restaurant, you've just opened, and we walk in and the service is wonderful, and the waitress, the waiter are wonderful to us, and we always think, how long will that last? They want us to be their customers. So you go back a few times, and then the fourth time it's gone downhill, But I don't see that happening with CWB, because, it is so steadfast in the culture. People are happy. And I think that if they're not happy, they can come to someone there and say, not about what can we do better, what can you do better, Rebecca, or, somebody else. And I think, you get the feeling that it's about trust as well. You all trust each other. So you're happy there. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy to have you here. And so it's lovely that you're taking part in all these wonderful initiatives locally. So did you say the bank has been going 100 years, CWB? It was started 100 years ago?
40 years ago.
40 years ago.
And actually on Monday, a brand new chapter in our history has begun. And so now our roots will extend more than 100 years back, because on Monday we were purchased in full by National Bank of Canada. And so this means some really exciting changes for us. I mean, perhaps the teal color won't be around and we'll have that beautiful deep red of National Bank. But what remains the same is that, I don't know, it's my own way of that sense of outsiderness. The beauty, National Bank is the other top 10 Schedule 1 bank, number 6, which is outside of Bay Street, right? It's big in Quebec, and we are headquartered in Edmonton at CWB. So it's bringing together that different perspective. Both are incredibly focused on entrepreneurials and business. But so that's what's changing, is that we'll then have access to an in-house capital markets, a bigger balance sheet to help our clients with a greater array of digital products and cash management services. But what won't be changing is that idea of extroversion in the community, the supportive environment of the employees, that sense of scrappy outsider who wants to really work hard on behalf of their clients and doesn't take it for granted. Like sometimes you can get that sense of hubris at some of the big five.
Not going to tell any stories, but we've walked away from a bank because one CEO, hello, how are you? Oh, are you back for our money again? It's a sad story. It really is. We took care of that in our own way. Congratulations. I'm very happy. Obviously, I've been reading about this. I don't know where I got 100 years from, but you know, 100 years, 40 years. I think the initiative will be wonderful because you'll be able to be a bigger community. You'll be able to help even more people. And basically, I just wish you all the luck in the world. I'll be round to see you again in a few weeks when we finish travelling. Say hi. And is there anything, you know, words of wisdom you'd like to leave with our listeners, our viewers? Because it doesn't even have to be about the banking financial world, but really it's about, I think, how do you continue to build a community, you know, when really it is about gaining customers? What is one of the biggest things you think you've managed to do to build your community? How can other people do it?
Well, it's how do I say? There's there's as many minds as there are heads. There's as many hearts as there are bodies, and so because of that, there's no one size fits all. And so it's about, when you're engaging with people, you really engage. And this is something deeply, that active listening and understanding the unique characteristics and needs and story of that person. And that extends to understanding the unique story of any enterprise or commercial client, just as it does to a personal client. So I think it really starts with deep and effective communication, which in a great client meeting, I talk the least, right? It's me 20%, them 80%. It's open-ended questions and following up with the secondary and tertiary questions to understand what really is going on there. So I think that's part of it. And that care, that leaning, I think of that as leading with care and communicating with care. And that's the same way that I strive. And the leaders here on my team in the reporting line, they also strive to engage with their team members. There's, success means something different for every employee. And so the real art of leading with care is how do we tie in the unified vision of what success looks like for this new enterprise in Kitchener to the individual definitions of success of each of those people who are helping to create it.
So you've hit the nail on the head. That's a wonderful way to finish our conversation, because I know you're a busy young lady, but that's really very inspirational for our listeners and our viewers, because to take that away with them, it's a wonderful, wonderful tip. Thank you so much for your help, and good luck. I know things won't change in a big way. It just means you'll be able to help many more people. So we will chat again soon, and thank you for your time.
I look forward to it, Linda. Thank you so, so much for having me on.